curse of betrayed friendship. On a moonless night, Tyler and Jake committed the unforgivable. Their friend Ashley was brutally murdered in a fit of madness. Now they were forced to dispose of the body. The old Chevrolet pulled into an abandoned garage complex. Drenched in sweat and pale with fear, the guys unloaded Ashley's lifeless body from the trunk. Her glassy eyes and gore-stained face would haunt them for the rest of their lives. They dragged their dead friend into a dark basement, hoping no one would find her there. But as soon as they dropped the body, they froze in horror. Ashley vanished. Only a pool of gore remained on the concrete floor. Stunned with terror, Tyler and Jake split up to search for her. Jake wandered among the old ruins, straining to hear every sound. His heart pounded. He gasped for air, gripped by clammy fear. The shadows seemed to twist into eerie shapes. Ashley's sinister silhouette would flicker in the distance, her gore-stained face appearing on the walls. Suddenly, eerie laughter rang out, echoing through the night silence. Jake froze, chilled with horror.
It was Ashley voice.
The maniacal cackling shook the garages, growing closer with every passing moment. The guy looked around for an exit, but only blind walls surrounded him. The roar swelled to deafening levels, filling the air with the familiar laughter of his friend. And then, silence, broken only by the drip of gore falling from above. Jake looked up and gasped in horror. On the garage roof stood Ashley's gore-stained figure. Her gaze was blazing with insanity, boring into his very soul. She threw her head back in frenzied laughter and stepped forward. With unnatural grace, the corpse glided down, floating through the air. Jake watched, paralyzed. Ashley landed right in front of him, her manic laughter continuing.
Now you can't run away, Jakey,
she whispered playfully, toying with the gore-stained knife. The guy screamed in terror and bolted. Behind him came the pounding of feet and that same eerie laughter. Jake ran blindly, stumbling and falling. Suddenly, his feet plunged into nothingness. He crashed into a dark pit and lost consciousness. Sometime later, Tyler's scream rang out as he found only his friend's severed legs in a filthy puddle. The guy took off running, but wherever he turned, gore-stained trails appeared, and Ashley's sinister whispers called out. She beckoned him to join her and Jake in the realm of the dead. The voice taunted and chased him at every step. Driven completely insane, Tyler huddled in a corner, whimpering in primal terror. He curled into a ball, hands covering his head. But even through his palms, he could hear something heavy dragging across the concrete. Drawing near, suddenly a massive weight crashed onto his back, slamming Tyler to the floor. Above him loomed Ashley's gore-stained form. She leaned towards his face, lips twisted in a broken grin.
Remember, buddy, how you said our friendship was till the grave? Well, we're reunited at last.
What remained of Jake fell beside him, a gore-stained pile of gnawed bones and shredded flesh. Tyler stared into their crazed, dead eyes, paralyzed by primordial fear. Ashley threw her head back in one final insane cackle, heralding an eternity of torment. The foul stench of decay filled the empty room as Ashley leaned over Tyler's body. Her disfigured face twisted into an insane grin, revealing rotten teeth. At that moment, a loud screech of metal rang out. A figure in a police uniform burst into the garage.
Police, freeze!
The officer shouted, aiming a shotgun. Ashley whipped around, her empty eye sockets flaring with hellish flames. And deafening roar erupted, inhuman, primordial. The officer froze in terror, his hand going limp and the shotgun clattering to the floor. What stood before him was neither living nor dead. It was a spawn of hell itself. Rotting chunks of flesh hung from the horrific figure, descending straight from nightmarish visions. The creature roared again, and the officer drew his pistol, opening frantic fire. But the bullet simply ricocheted off the advancing horror. The Ashley demon flung her dead limbs forward, latching onto the officer's face. He screamed in terror as the putrid flesh began burrowing into his skin. The next morning, Only a senseless, gory mess was discovered in the abandoned garage, evidence of an unimaginably violent attack. But no bodies or suspects were ever found. The case went unsolved, shrouded in the darkness of a crime bred from hell itself.